I would say the most common issue around starting a carnivore diet is the general area of your gut health, and issues with constipation. So let's talk about poop. Welcome to Shapefixer. I'm Andrew. I'm a nutritionist. I'm on a carnivore diet. And the funny thing is that I started a carnivore diet to prove it wrong. I was one of those people who believed what I'd been taught my whole life and about the importance of fiber and being able to stay regular. And I was on a ketogenic diet, which is a low carbohydrate diet, for quite some time and had wonderful health benefits, and started a carnivore diet as a 1 month experiment because I'm getting a bit tired of people telling me that I should be on a carnivore diet. And that was a year and a half ago, and I am very, very happy with this way of eating. I've done videos on that. I'll link them in the description down below here. But let's talk about this one issue that seems to keep people up at night. Now, what we have been taught is that the biggest, most important issue when it comes to staying regular and having good bowel movements is to make sure we eat enough fiber. And of course, if you're on a carnivore diet, well, you're not getting any fiber, because fiber is plant products. Plants have fiber. That's where we get our fiber from. Remember what fiber is, though. Fiber is a non-digestible, sugar-structured product that comes out from plants. It gives plants their rigidity and their structure. It's almost like their skeleton, I suppose. And the theory has always been that we have microbes in our gut, and the gut microbes break down the fiber, and it keeps the gut microbes happy. And the microbes are essential to our survival because they produce hormones, they fight infections, and all those other things. And all of that is true. So how then can a carnivore diet work where you're not getting any fiber? And what happens to your gut? And surely then, if you're not having fiber and you're not feeding your microbes, you're going to have an unhealthy gut, and you are going to have constipation. You're not going to have proper bowel movements. That seems the logic. Turns out this doesn't work like that. There are studies that have shown very conclusively now that our gut microbes do not need fiber. Now, they can break down fiber, but only to a point, so they don't break all of it down, but they can break some of it down and use it as a food source. But it is very clear now that those exact same microbes can also break down collagen peptides. And that comes from animal food, from meat. So they're perfectly happy and perfectly healthy on that. Now, if you switch to a carnivore diet, there may be a turnover period because you're training your microbes because they're changing their diet as well. But you don't need fiber to keep your gut healthy. So why is it then that a lot of people who do start on a carnivore diet, at least in the initial stages, seem sometimes to end up a bit constipated? Okay, so let's address that and what the things are that you can do about it if you are on a carnivore diet or you're considering a carnivore diet, how to not be constipated. So I think the first thing is we need to understand what that means, because some people will say they're constipated and they're not understanding what's actually happening with their body. Constipation is not about how often you go. It's about how easy it is when you do go. So constipation means your stool is hard, it's dry, it's difficult to get it out, it's painful, you're all blocked up. That is constipation. If you are only going twice a week and it's comfortable and it's easy when the time comes and it's no big deal, that's not constipation. That just means your food is so nutritious that you're digesting and absorbing most of it because it's nutrient rich and there's not much waste left. So you don't have to go every single day like you do when you are on a typical Western diet with lots of plants and lots of fiber, because the fiber you don't digest, so you do have to get rid of it. So it does promote you going more often. But the reason the fiber makes you go more often is because you're going to get rid of the fiber. So if you're not eating the fiber, you don't have to get rid of the fiber. That's not constipation. Constipation is when you really can't and you want to and you need to, and it's difficult and it's painful. Right, so if that's what you have, if you do have constipation, there are a number of things you can do. One is make sure you're drinking enough water. If you are not hydrated, your body will draw water out of your gut, out of your colon, into your blood to maintain your hydration levels where it really matters, and it will dry out your colon, and your stools will become hard and dry and that much more difficult to pass. So make sure you are drinking enough water. The second thing, and this is very common with carnivores, is you are possibly not eating enough fat. Your body will absorb as much fat as it can from your food until you have enough fat in your body, and then you will not absorb the rest, and it will go through you. And that excess fat, which you are not absorbing, keeps your stools soft and helps you pass them through. Now, very easy way to understand that is to check afterwards before you flush and see if it's floating. If it's floating, it's the fat content that's making it float. If it's sinking, you may want to try and increase your fat intake. The reason we tend to not eat enough fat when we first switch to carnivore is old habits die hard. And we've learned to eat carbohydrates, eat sugars, eat grains, have a low-fat diet. Now you switch to a carnivore diet, and you do away with the sugars, and you do away with the fibers, and you do away with the grains, and you lower your carbohydrate intake, but you don't always increase your fat intake sufficiently because you're not used to doing that. And you have to learn to do that and learn to have the confidence to do it and realize that it's actually okay and that the fat is good for you. So work on increasing your fat intake until your stools float, and then you will find most likely that is the cause of your constipation. So water, fat. Magnesium is another one. We do tend to be a little magnesium deficient, especially when we first switch our diet. In time, that sorts itself out because you do get enough magnesium in the food that you eat. But take a magnesium supplement and just see if that doesn't sort it out, because that can be quite a significant factor. One of the symptoms of too much magnesium supplement is diarrhea. So magnesium has been used for many, many, many years as a medication almost to unblock constipation. So just have a magnesium supplement and make sure that you're not deficient in magnesium. And then the fourth thing that helps promote bowel movements is exercise, movement. Okay, so just movement. Exercise, I don't mean exercise like hardcore gym sessions or anything like that. Of course, that does help. Going for a run or going swimming or doing a dance class, but just exercise, just walking around the block. Make sure you get regular is not the right word, regular movement, okay? Oh, I'm sorry about all the puns here. That kind of regular movement. Yes, regular movement will promote regular movement. There you go. Okay, so water, fat, magnesium, exercise. One of those four things is probably the reason why you're experiencing some constipation on your carnivore diet. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this video and please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content.